I might have to look over my shoulder when traveling. This anti-scam app, if it goes so well, if it goes exactly how I expect, they're gonna be like, that's the guy, get him, you know? He cut into our margins. We used to make double on all these transactions. Now people are so smart with their AI talking about local prices. You're not a local, I'm gonna charge you double. But no, this needs to happen. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear blue light blockers and a black quarter zip. So that's what's up. I just got this idea for a viral AI product. So ever go to like a auto mechanic or some type of place where you have no knowledge and you just have to trust the person giving you the assessment? This is called anti-scam AI. I'm not sure how frequent of a problem this is, but maybe for traveling especially. Travel's another good one. So you're going to see how my brain works building and vibe coding and planning out apps. For one of these use cases for anti-scam AI, an app that can be listening alongside with you and like giving you advice on maybe if you're being scammed or not, I'm already starting to plan like the user interface that might be good, like set location, set service, and then go. So as you can see, for the travel use case, you're going to want to set location, set service, hit go, and then the description / the UX journey. For anti-scam travel mode, the prompt engineering should be configured to be listening, searching the model's knowledge base to compare the information being told by the service provider, checking if this is accurate, if there's any discrepancy in price, quality, as well as time and any other factors that could lead to the user being ripped off. As well, we want to send all this information off, compare the existing knowledge about this service in this country, city, location, and compare the average cost, time, quality, requirements to make sure we give a generated response to inform the user of any discrepancy and inform them so they do not get scammed, ripped off, or taken advantage of because of the lack of knowledge in this area and lack of knowledge of local prices, rates, and standards. So I think that really covers things well. And as you can see, to be able to articulate and communicate what's on your mind is the future of AI. The model's going to actually take this description and create a prompt that's engineered to send to the model. Usually this is bullet points, requirements, kind of like rules to give the model. And you can see I'm very happy with this. This exact plan right here will be able to give me a really good start so that my responses are already high value. So you're going to see as you vibe code and plan out your app, you're going to really come up with these different use cases. And in your head, you're going to put yourself in the position of a user. And then you're going to realize, wait, this is my target market. Maybe my whole app should be branded around this. I'm going to also put in, if the input is in a different language, please automatically interpret this information and have the response back be in English. Yeah, this anti-scam app, if it goes so well, if it goes exactly how I expect, I might have to look over my shoulder when traveling because they're going to be like, that's the guy, get him, you know? Like, he cut into our margins. We used to make an extra, we used to make an extra like 80% a year, 100% a year. We used to make double on all these transactions. Now people are so smart with their AI, now people are all hip with their AI talking about local prices. You're not a local, I'm gonna charge you double. But no, this needs to happen. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear blue light blockers and a black quarter zip. So that's what's up. So let's get building this. We have our full description and our user interface. I could add another page for response page. User interface build here. We also have our full description. This has our component list, very basic components. And then we have our full description and UX, user experience journey. Open up Xcode, you're gonna go new project. Once you open up Xcode, you're gonna click app. I'm gonna call it anti-scam AI. Set the app bundle ID and just click next. We're gonna create a new folder here. What you get when you open up an Xcode project is already something you can run. You don't need to do any setup. You're already gonna have this entry file, and this right here is your router. So you can change that to whatever different file, or you could just use the default content view file. If you have any other steps, like for some of my apps, I have like an onboarding screen. I say like, is onboarding complete? If onboarding is complete, you can then pass through to login. If login is logged in, then you can pass through to content view. So just copy and paste this. So I have my full prompt here, my whole app description. I have my user interface uploaded, and I'm gonna start this with O3 now. Okay, great. So I'm gonna open up my Xcode file now that I got my response from the model. I'm gonna copy and paste this into my content view. There may be some bugs. I usually expect some bugs to happen. So let's just let it index process this file. Yeah, I've one-shotted this code file. It's wrote me a full 600 or so lines based on this really good prompt and outline of what I need. basically telling exactly the UX journey, the prompt engineering description, as well as the app use case and like the components it needs. And then I also just explained exactly, we're going to be using a Swift UI application for Xcode. We're going to be using location permissions. We're going to need automatically set the location. We're going to need to use OpenAI for the API keys. And then also I said, when the Whisper clicks start, we start listening and transcribing audio with the Whisper 1. That's the API for the audio transcription. You can find that on OpenAI platform. When the user clicks stop, we'll send this transcription to the LLM AI model. And I specified to use GPT-4o Mini. And then use OpenAI TTS model to generate the TTS audio to read back the response from the LLM. And as you can see, I also created a interface diagram in Canva. So really fast, I made this in Canva. It could definitely be improved, but it's going to show kind of exactly what I want. So there's no surprises when I open up the use case. And if I open up this, you can see already it's giving me that live preview. I really like how Swift does that. It gives you a live preview. So you can tell since it's compiled here, no errors, that it's already running within the Xcode. I've downloaded this to my phone, and as you can see, I actually have the app running on my iPhone. So it's already got my location. It's automatically detected the location and put in the city I'm at. So that'll be really helpful. It says set service. We only got a few services and I'm going to add them, but right now I have car rental service. If I drop down, it has taxi, ride share, train, hotel. I'm going to also have the ability to just custom enter your exact service. So it can still adapt to that service. This is the great thing about AI. We don't have to have custom logic built for that scenario. It can adapt its prompt and response based on that. So I have our car rental service, and I'm in Canada right now, so it's definitely not going to be like 6,000. So I'm just going to say, hey, yeah, so you want a car rental? What it's going to be is it's going to be 6,000 per week. So that's like 1,000 per day. And then if you want it, we're going to do a rental right now. That's our standard operation. So actually, if you want a 6-day rental, it's going to be about $6,000, 1,000 per day. That's kind of industry standard around here for this. So for a typical, sedan, basic car. So I think, are you ready to sign up? Analyzing offer. Then it's gonna, once it's done generating the audio, it's gonna get us to this response page. So you can see I can scroll and just read the response, which is really helpful, but I can also play.
Summary of the offer. The provider is offering a car rental for $6,000 per week, which translates to approximately $1,000 per day. They claim this is industry standard for a basic sedan in Newmarket, Ontario. Price and time check.
Price and time
Typical
check.
Car rental prices in Newmarket range from $30 to $100 per day for standard sedans, depending on the rental company and vehicle type. The quoted price of $1,000 per day is approximately 900% higher than the typical range. Red flags.
Red flags,
The
yeah.
price is extraordinarily high and does not align with local market rates. The provider claims this is industry standard, which is misleading given the typical pricing. No mention of insurance, mileage limits, or additional fees, which are usually standard in rental agreements. Negotiation and protection tips. Politely decline the offer and mention that you are aware of local market rates. Ask for a written contract that details all fees, insurance, and terms before agreeing to anything.
So that's really good. Of course, I can just read that, but already, guys, think about how useful this is. We've spun this up in one day, a few hours even at that. And this comes from having a really good idea, a really good way to apply a user experience powered by AI. Of course, you want to make this as seamless as possible. You want to make this one click, just start listening. Everything's already set up in the background and people will pay for that service. People will rely on that service. Right off the bat, I have some changes I would like to make it even better. Like I said, that input, so you can add a custom service. So if you're like going parasailing or something, you could just put parasailing. Really what an MVP is you want to prove your idea is valid. And then you could basically build a whole business. Of course, you're going to want that killer use case. But around this, how are you going to provide more value to people? You start to maybe save these responses to a backend database. You start to publish these things on a feed, and you start to publish location-based suggestions and things that people have, be aware this happened, and start to make records of these things. That would involve adding a backend. Right now, this is all running on my client-side device. There's no need to be connected or logged into anything, but that could be a really cool feature to add. And I suggest just starting with a killer AI feature, you probably know an industry better than anyone else. You probably have an idea that you've thought about better than anyone else. And now it's the idea that's king. We're in the age of the idea. So let's go. We're in the age of the idea. So it's really about executing, planning, and articulating that idea. And then, testing it out, making those tweaks, start actually using your product and seeing how you can make improvements. I'm Chris Walsh, and welcome to the idea era.